Should Donald Trump even think about debating Kamala Harris? That's the question for the video today. And I want to ask you that. What good will come out of this? There's nothing left to expose with the Kamala Harris campaign. I would love to see Donald Trump get on a debate stage that was unbiased and debate Kamala Harris. But that is the key word there, unbiased. Donald Trump put out a truth on Truth Social and on X. And this is following two videos that I just happened to cover. A video with ABC, John Carl, and he interviewed Tom Cotton. And he just perpetuated the lies for the left-wing media and for Kamala Harris. And then also another video I put out where Bill Maher called out a CNN host, Caitlin Collins, used to work at Fox News, and how the media is consistently covering for the Democrat Party. And Donald Trump brings this up in a truth. And I want to know your opinion. Leave a comment down below. This is a very important question. Donald Trump says here, I watched ABC fake news this morning. Both lightweight reporter John Carl, ridiculous and biased interview of Tom Cotton, who was fantastic, and their so-called panel of Trump haters. And I asked, why would I do the debate against Kamala Harris on that network? Now, if Donald Trump doesn't go on their network, they are losing millions, maybe billions of dollars in advertising because Donald Trump brings that weight to them. Will panelist Donna Brazile give the questions to the Marxist candidate like she did for crooked Hillary Clinton? That's a fact. Donna Brazile admitted to giving the answers or giving the questions to Hillary Clinton so she could be better prepared for the debate. Now, it didn't work out because Hillary is a hated human being because of Benghazi, and we're going to talk about that. Will Kamala's best friend, who heads up ABC, do likewise? Okay. Where is little George Slopadopoulos hanging out now? And George Slopadopoulos is apparently being sued by the Trump campaign for, let's just call it, he said some things that weren't true. And that gets you into hot water when it's on video. Audio, one thing, video, another. Will he be involved? They've got a lot of questions to answer. Why did Harris turn down Fox, NBC, CBS, and even CNN? Stay tuned. Think about that. Why did Kamala Harris turn down the other 4 liberal news networks and she only wanted to debate on ABC? I don't know if there's anything left to gain with a debate. Kamala Harris has been exposed, and that sounds disgusting on an early Monday morning, and I want you to hit the like and subscribe button. But I don't think Donald Trump gets a lot out of a debate on a rigged network. I don't think it happens. I think it hurts ABC. It hurts these liberal networks because they're not going to get the money because millions of people will tune in to watch. You know this. I know this. We would be doing it here. Instead, Donald Trump had a phone call with Elon Musk that 1 billion people listened into. Okay? Megyn Kelly gets more views on her YouTube channel than Fox, NBC, CBS, and CNN combined. I get more views here on my channel than CNN, and I'm just a dumb redneck veteran. Think about it. Let's get to the next story here. Think about that. Leave a comment down below. Should Donald Trump debate Kamala Harris? Love to know what you think. Okay, next up. This is another perfect example of what Donald Trump is talking about. CNN's Jake Tapper confronts Cory Booker. He says, quote, a new chapter. I mean, she's the incumbent vice president. You got to see this. This is epic. Epic takedown by Jake Crapper. I can't believe this aired.
A new chapter? I mean, she's the incumbent vice president. Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. How can Democrats talk about a new chapter turning the page? You guys are the ones writing the book.
Well, you know that that's not true, Jay, because you know politics like I do. Right now, we see the MAGA Republicans in Congress killing all kind of pragmatic policies that we need to get done. On the most contentious issue, we had a bipartisan deal settled on by Senator Lankford, a right-wing Republican. And
Lankford is not a right-wing Republican, and they're talking about the border deal. Jake Tapper calls Kamala out. It's epic.
Chris Murphy, a blue state Democrat. And what killed that deal, what killed the pragmatic progress, wasn't the sensible Republicans, but really people that were kowtowing to Donald Trump. His influence is egregious and incredible.
Think about this. Think about this. CNN just called out Cory Booker, Spartacus, for trying to perpetuate a bogus lie. A bogus lie is what she has been spreading some other things to get where she's at, obviously. But when Jake Tapper calls you out, you have problems. You've got problems. What do you think about that? Does anyone expect anything less from the Democrat Party? Does anyone expect anything less from the Democrat Party? I don't think so. Now, this is interesting. I don't expect anything less from the Democrat Party. Now, this is an interesting clip by a former Democrat National Committee campaign worker. And this is after the DNC in Chicago. You got to listen to this. This lady dropped some, I fear for her life.
Okay, I'm going to get real in this, and it's probably going to piss some people off. But I'm okay with that, because if I'm not being honest, then what else am I doing? I just got back from the DNC where I signed up to volunteer. And when I initially had signed up to volunteer, Joe Biden was still the nominee. It wasn't yet Kamala Harris. I've worked in progressive politics for a long time. I have worked for many different Democratic candidates, Senate candidates, House candidates, even some Democratic organizations. And as the years have gone by, I found myself getting more and more disillusioned with the Democratic Party, although until now, I've never said that out loud or anywhere public. And I just want to say that by saying this, I'm not necessarily saying that the other party is better. I'm just giving you my experience with working with the Democrats. Throughout my career, I've mostly done campaign fundraising, so I've seen it the way that it works behind the scenes. And I know that candidates spend 8, 9, 10 hours a day just calling donors and begging rich people for money. It's pretty much the only people that they talk to. I mean, of course, sometimes they have to talk to voters, but the majority of their time is just spent calling. And
why would they talk to anyone but rich people? Why? Why would they talk to anyone but rich people? They're the only ones that can help them. You're just a vote. You don't count much more than a vote. Okay? Votes are easy. Money is the hard part of politics.
And begging rich people to give them money for their campaigns. And what this inevitably means is that we don't actually live in a democracy. It's just rich people calling the shots and having the access to talk to the politicians. They're the ones that basically get their ear all day. They're the ones that can help shape and prioritize what the politician actually focuses on. Even the politicians that detest this, that want to get big money out of politics, still have to play this game. They still have to make these calls. They still do the same amount of just calling rich people and begging them for money. And what unfortunately happens once they get into office, if they get into office, is that they soon realize that the money machine is so great and the seduction of power is so immense that they no longer adhere to these values. When I first got into politics, I thought that Democrats were the party of the people. And at the DNC this week, I felt like I was in a building with the most elite and out-of-touch people in the entire world. It very much felt like, let's just have a huge party and forget all of our problems because the vibes are brat.
Did you think that watching it? Because I got the same thing. It was just, let's all get together and celebrate hating Trump, while at the same time, the world burns.
When I was there, I didn't feel any connection to real America or the place that I come from, which is the Midwest, Kansas City, Kansas, and Missouri. I didn't feel any connection to the people that I know right now who are struggling to buy their groceries or to pay their rent. The people who want to know what both candidates are going to do to materially affect change in their lives. And when I was there listening to the speeches, I felt myself feeling mad because I didn't hear anything about the economy. Definitely not in Kamala's speech, and not very much in the others as well. Instead, I heard generic platitudes, things like joy and respect and integrity, and what does that even mean? Let's make the military the most lethal in the world? I thought I was part of the anti-war party. I thought I was part of the party that fought for the underdog, that championed working people. When and how did we just become the party of academia and affluence? Because that's what we are right now. How can we ever say that we're going to fight corporate power or give a voice back to those communities that have been left behind when above the delegates on the floor in levels and levels and rings of suites with donors and corporations that we're literally looking down on the people below from above?
Ooh.
That's what
Wow.
Chris Cuomo said, and he's absolutely right. You know, I went to the DNC this year hoping that I would feel reconnected to the Democratic Party, that I would have more of a sense of understanding of Kamala and her candidacy and what she stood for. But instead, I ended up leaving and feeling the opposite, more disconnected and alone than ever. And I don't think I can support Kamala Harris for president. I don't even know if I can call myself a Democrat anymore. I don't know who I'm going to be supporting, but I know it's not her. And for once, I'm not afraid to say it.
How many of you have friends and family like this that are having these sudden red pill moments? That is a powerful video by that young lady that was at the DNC. Lifelong Democrat, suddenly red pilled by watching all the billionaires up above look down on her. Wow. The Democrat Party, Kamala Harris, the Biden campaign is so out of touch, and they're frauds, and they're using Donald Trump campaign ads in their own attempt at normalizing their party. And Bernie Sanders calls her out for it.
But if you take a look at that ad, and one thing that I found striking is if you look, and I think we have the images here, there are at least 3 points in that ad that show the border wall, Donald Trump's border wall. Is it now the position of the Democrats that they favor the border wall? But if you take a look at that ad, and one thing that I...
Jonathan Karl, ABC News, brings up a great point. With Kamala's campaign ad, does she now support a border wall? Ask yourself those questions. Should Donald Trump debate on ABC? Why isn't Kamala willing to debate on any other network? And the lady that left the Democrat Party. Wow. Is that you or someone you know? Leave a comment down below. Veteran Bikers out. See you on the road.